Hello, Serge here from a backyard driving range on a cool, chilly autumn day. Leaves are falling everywhere, the yard's getting covered with them, and definitely chilly out here. So, as you can see, I have a new podium, which is an addition to the, I guess you could call it the driving range set. And one of my students, Harold, made it for me. He thought it would be a lot better than me just continually having to pick my clipboard up and drop it in the bag and all that other stuff. And so I'm going to give it a shot. It works pretty good, it looks like. And I got me a new complete hitting mat that I stand on as well as hit the balls, because boy, I was digging myself one heck of a big hole and two footprints hitting from the same place every day when we shoot these videos. So hopefully that's going to save the yard a little bit. We have somewhat between a question and a comment here, and I think it's really cool, and you're going to and I want to take it in a very unusual direction that I've never done before. That's going to involve all of you doing something. So sit down, enjoy this, and you'll see what challenge I want to have for y'all. This comes from Keith Kent. He says, "I do agree that you need to keep your mind relatively clear and feel the swing. The trouble is, how many of us actually swing anywhere near like a Serge swing? We may feel like we are, but think many, if not most of us, are not even close. What would be interesting is if all of us had a video of our swings to see what percentage are on the right track within parameters of the swing." He then goes on, he says a whole bunch of other things, and he closes up with this statement: "It is very difficult to explain to someone the motion of the golf swing and the feel, as it is very easy to just swing the club with the arms. A lot of movement in a golf swing starts from the opposite end, which means the ground up. Your body has to do something a little bit to get, but as we know, mostly it's swinging your arms, to just swing the club with the arms. A lot of movement in a golf swing starts from the opposite end, which is totally unnatural, and I liken it to patting your head with one hand whilst rubbing your tummy with the other." And I've heard that before, never did it, but I tried it upstairs before I came down and do this. And if you're patting and it's really, I don't think it's, at least for me, it's not possible to do them both at the same time and keep a decent, speed or tempo. And so that, I think he's definitely right in that regard. Pat G answered to Keith saying, "In May 1, 2011 blog, the Serge says that one has to take what he was working on the driving range to the course. I assume that means swing thoughts. Doesn't that conflict with what Serge is saying in today's blog, where I was talking about mechanics versus field?" is where that blog came up. And I said, you've got mechanics on the range, and you have to take them, you have to leave the mechanics on the range and take maybe 1, 2 at the most thoughts to the swing thoughts to the range, and swing with feel. All right. It doesn't conflict, because you can't think mechanics. We said it, Jack Moore said it in the putting video, the putting secrets. If there is target, there can be no mechanics. If there's mechanics, there can be no target. That's the same thing I say is in a practice swing, you feel the swing that you want to make for the shot you want to hit, and then once you say, yes, that's it, then you step up and you swing the feel. So there's a fine line between mechanics and feel. And mechanics, even as fast as the brain can work, it doesn't seem to be able to work fast enough for you to think about a lot of things in a golf swing and make a golf swing. So that's where we revert to feel. You see a golf lesson with a golf pro and working with the player. In the end, we start keeping, we turn everything over to feel. You'll hear me say to a student, after I tell him something I want him to work on, I have him make practice swings till I see what I'm looking for, and then when he hits the ball, I say, what did you feel different about that? Because we're trying to awaken the brain to sense what the muscles are doing, so that it can send the proper messages to the muscles about when to move, how to move, and all the things of that will create the golf swing through feel, not mechanics. All right. Now, one of the important things about gripping a golf club, as compared to where I can't do tap and rub at the same time, tap my head and rub my belly, is that once I grip a golf club and I put my hands on it, the two hands, especially when I get a good 3P grip, palms perpendicular to the ground, perpendicular to my torso, and if I line up parallel left, it's perpendicular to my aiming line, the hands are now diametrically opposed to each other. And so that means whatever one does, the other one does the exact opposite. So they're kind of like, so to speak, I guess the best term we could use is they're married to each other. And diametrically opposed means that this palm is facing that way and that palm is facing that way. So whatever they do, they're doing the exact opposite, but they're doing the exact opposite in perfect sync and harmony. And it's guaranteed because of the fact that of that opposition. All right, so that's how instead where we can't pat our head and rub our tummy, we can at least make a consistent golf swing. And as we know, to hit consistent golf shots, we have to control the rotations of our arms, from the tips of the fingers all the way to where they connect. The arms are connected to the shoulder and ball and socket joint, and control our rotations, which is why we go into the catcher's mitt toe up in the backswing, and we swing through into the forward catcher's mitt toe up. And when you do all of that, you can hit the ball very solid, straight, and relatively straight. Okay? But now I want to go back, and as I said, bring out a challenge today. And in fact, the challenge actually comes from Keith when he says, what would be interesting is if all of us had a video of our swings to see what percentage are on the right track within parameters of the swing. So I think that would be a good question to be answered. And so I'm going to throw out a challenge to all of you. Most of us have cell phones. Most cell phones do have cameras on them, and many of you have your own cameras. I'm using a little Kodak ZI-8 camera here, which you can buy for, or at least you used to be able to buy. I think that model is gone now, but they have another one up there. You got the flip phones, and not flip phones, but flip cameras. And so you can, or small cameras. You get any camera and take a picture of yourself, one or two face on down the line or whatever, and down the line, which would be from behind you looking at the target, and face on and down the line, and then look at them and see where you come in with the parameters. And I think and then what we're going to do is I'm going to make up a so to speak questionnaire that'll be put on the website and on the home page, and you can go there and answer the questionnaire, which will give us a great idea of exactly what are the things we want to check. One of them will be, we want to check how are your knees. Are your knees wide? Are you maintaining the width in your backswing? The wide knees outward pressure, that you're not lifting or kicking your foot in. Are you turning into the catcher's mitt toe up? And from the back view, do you stop your rotation with your forward arm over the toe line and lift? All right. And then in the forward swing, we'll say, when you hit the ball and you get in the forward mitt, and then your forward arm, your trailing arm, reaches the toe line, does it come straight up? And when we're talking about up in the backswing and up in the forward swing, so to speak, what time was it at? Is it at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock? Is it at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, even lower than 10 o'clock? And the same thing on this side. Is it coming over? Is it coming over towards 11, 10, 10:30, 9:30 or whatever? So we'll check your verticalness, and then we would like to check on the length of your backswing. Is it 3/4? A little bit longer, parallel, longer than parallel? How much turn are you making? Check your club to the ground. It should be in a 3/4 swing. A straight line to the ground should be about at your ankle. If your hands are behind your ankles and behind your heels back here someplace, very likely the club is laid off and you're deep in the SBG, the sacred burial ground. So I'm gonna put this thing together, and then you just answer those questions looking at your video. And as you know, when you see me talk from golf schools and do these dailies from a golf school, and I mention how many people we know nobody's lined up yet. If you could actually do this on a range and check your alignment, that I'll put that answer in there if you can answer it. Are you aiming right? Are you aiming pretty accurate? Are you aiming left? And see where that goes. But the big thing is the parameters of the swing. And as you know, we've talked many times that I've talked about students in lessons as well as at golf schools, how many of them actually came and were fairly confident they were doing the golf swing, and yet most cases they had issues that they were way off. I'm not going to give you a hint on what those are now, because I don't want to put any thoughts or lead you in any direction, because we want to make this so to speak, this challenge give us good survey results. And the reason why this is important, I believe, is that it'll give you all a clue as to, and I think we're going to find in very many cases that you're all going to be doing, many of you will be doing and missing the swing in with the same problems. And so if we can identify those, we therefore know where everybody can go look, have a better chance of going and look at finding what their issues are when they're not hitting the ball and swinging as well as they like and hitting the ball as well as they like. So this is something where we can find some data that's not going to only help me to be a better teacher and all the surge teachers are better teachers to kind of know what's going on, but it's going to help you all. And so I think this might be one of the best things we've done so far, is this challenge and survey to find out where is the place that if y'all are making a mistake, what are those mistakes or misunderstandings about the swing. But I think in most cases it's just a case of you think you're doing it, but you're not. Let's identify those areas. All right, so hopefully when we get a reasonable amount of responses on this, we'll come back and we'll give you the survey results. And ultimately, in the end, hopefully this will get a lot more of you to be able to get a camera and check your swings out periodically. I know some of you do. The more that do it, the better off it is, because a picture's worth 1,000 words, and there's no doubt about it. And remember, one other way you can do this, not quite so scientifically, is don't forget your best buddy, the shadow. The shadow knows. He always tells you the truth, because he can't lie, because you see it. What you see is what you are, and what you're doing. And so the key is that and the best thing about the shadow is you get instantaneous answers, rather than having to me now leave here, go shut that camera off, and go look at it if I want to see those swings I made in the beginning. Okay, so hopefully many of you do this survey for us, and we'll have some great results to bring back to all of you about where the most, shall we say, common mistakes or misunderstandings or swing errors that are being made by all of you out there in trying to learn a surge swing. Okay, well that's it from today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.